Okay, so what we have here is a map of Indonesia one of my students made several years ago, and it's already in a clipping mask. But what I'd like to do is show you in this lab how to put a map or mapped area into a clipping mask. So hypothetically, let's pretend that we just wanted to focus in on the island of Java, and therefore we wanted to make a clipping mask around Java and zoom in on that. Here's how you do it. So over here we have all of our layers, and as you can see there are a lot of layers here and several different boxes, etc. And so the first step is to simply, I locked all the other layers because my map's pretty much done. What we're going to do is hit add a new layer, and I tend to give this a name that I'll know what I'm looking at, so I call it Clipper a lot. You can call it whatever you want, Pac-Man or I don't know, Wes Welker, or whatever. So we make a new layer called Clipper, and then what we're going to do is you can take a tool. It can be any size tool. I'm going to take a rounded rectangle tool this time. You could use a polygon. You could make a star. That would be kind of ridiculous. It depends on the map purpose. But I'm going to take a rounded rectangle tool and make sure it has a fill. And you're going to draw around the area you eventually want people to see. So basically what's ironic about this is, I'll put Bali in there too just because it's cool. What's ironic about this is you actually are covering up the area you want to see at first. So what I'm doing is this shape, when it's eventually a clipping mask, it will be the only thing that you see. Alright, so we have this shape in the clipper layer. And with the clipper layer still highlighted, I'm going to go up here to the flow menu. And in case you missed that, it's up here, the flow menu. And we're going to go to, where is it? Make clipping mask. So I'll click that. Now, nothing happens. Why? I want you to take a second and think about it. Why did nothing happen? The reason nothing happened is it disappeared because you don't see a clipping mask. It disappears and you'll only see what's under it. But this rectangle is the only thing in this layer, and clipping masks only work within a layer. So what we have to do now is we're going to highlight, hold down the shift key to highlight both of these layers, click and drag them into the clipping layer, and anything in this layer, only the clipping mask area will show up. So now we have everything in our clipper layer. We have this rectangle as our clipping mask. Doesn't matter where it is in here. I can pull it up to the top or whatnot. And now the only thing you can see in this map is this. Now, one other trick I want to show you really quickly. It has nothing to do with the clipping mask, but oftentimes your clipping mask is the area of the map all the people will see, right? So a neat line is a nice border going around your map, or a frame line, etc. And sometimes you want a frame line. Now I could go in and draw another rectangle and try to line it up, but that'd be a real pain. So what you can do is create another layer on top of Clipper, select the rectangle that is the clipping mask that you can't see, but if you click on that circle it's selected, hit Control C or go up to Edit Copy, click in the new layer that you made. I'm going to call this Neatline, and then with that layer highlighted, hit Control Shift V or Control F, basically paste in place. So there's paste in front or paste in place. That'll work. I'll do that right now. Now, we don't see anything because it doesn't have a fill or an outline, but if we give this an outline, a black outline, and maybe a stroke of 3, we now have a nice map with a neat line, and voila, you're done. Sorry it took so long to put this up. So if you guys need a little while to do the clipping mask in lab tomorrow morning before turning this in, feel free. If you're watching this 2 years from now, disregard those comments because that won't make any sense. Alright, thanks guys. See you soon.